excitement at school is palpable. It's a celebration of learning for students, a time to showcase all they have learned in science and humanities through their PBL projects. This year, however, this celebration is a bit more special. There is pride and joy that one can see on the faces of students as they also get ready to publish their writing as a part of the writing workshop program at Inventure, along with their PBL projects for COL.
So traditionally, English is seen as being a separate subject than social studies and science, and the possibility of a transference of skills among these subjects is assumed to be a little far-fetched. Now, the idea of blending PBL with English was to challenge this assumption and to really see how students can use writing as a tool of expression to express their learning across all these subjects.
I was delighted to see how children made seamless connections between the writing strategies that we taught as part of the writing workshop and what their history and the social sciences and science teachers had taught them. And I can share a few interesting examples. So for example, in grade 7, in physics, they were taught about the concept of sound. And in chemistry, they were taught about corrosion. And it was interesting to see children write expository essays about how corrosion has led to catastrophic incidents across the globe, like the Bhopal gas tragedy or accidents in the aviation industry. And it was also interesting to see the topic of sound that they learned in physics. They used the writing strategies that we taught them as part of the writing workshop to write essays on, for example, how those 12 notes in music, how the same set of notes make different kinds of sounds when you use different musical instruments.
So the first thing I felt that the children enjoyed the most was the student choice. The fact that we opened up and we said that they could write about anything that they really felt passionately about. So that was the most important thing, because they came up with topics that they really cared for, and hence the passion actually translated into their writing. So I feel that for children to be treated like their opinion matters, that we care about what they think, we care about their reasons, is something that works very well for the writing workshop. That we are listening, we care about what you think, and I think that attitude as an educator has really helped me and my colleagues to actually get the best out of the students.
This year, in the second term, as students made their way back to school after the pandemic, they worked on 2 non-fiction pieces of writing, the expository and the argumentative essay. Each unit spanned across 6 to 8 weeks, where they explored and tried a variety of writing strategies to demonstrate a nuanced understanding of how to write a research-based essay. Both the units finally culminated with them picking a topic from either the sciences or humanities subjects to write their final post-unit essay. But it was not just the writing that was under the spotlight.
The other thing we do in the writing workshop is also go beyond just the content, just the writing of the essays, and actually look at design and readability as a part of writing. So students create something called PBL Chronicles, where they look at various forms of design features, text features, aesthetic tools to make their writing really pop for the reader. Overall, I feel that we're making, by blending PBL with English, I think we're making some headway in making learning more holistic, unified, and ultimately a fun experience for students.
And when it comes to fun, nothing beats the sheer joy of presenting their writing to their peers, parents and teachers through the publishing. On publishing day, one by one, students present their PBL chronicles and also articulate their understanding of the unit, be it on their choice of topic, design, and even writing strategies they used and enjoyed the most. Parents play a critical role in this part of the writing journey, as they get to see and share their appreciation with students on their efforts and outcomes.
I think celebration of learning is really important because the children actually have, they usually put in their heart and soul into writing, and celebration of learning is the same thing that writers, when they see their published book and it gets celebrated by everyone, that's when they feel a sense of accomplishment. It's the same thing for students. I think when they see their work getting published and showcased, they feel extremely proud of the work and the hard work that they've put in. The peers, what happens during celebration of learning is that they showcase the part that they're proud of. It's important for them to showcase their work, and the feedback that they receive from their parents, from their peers, that makes them feel like they're on top of the world, and that actually gives them a sense of achievement.
Hi, I'm Sonal. I am Kia Sinha's mother. She's in 6C. We just watched the English COL where the children presented their argumentative essays. That's a very, very important skill that they have learned, how to write a good debate, and the kids did a great job. The structure that they are being taught and the way they organize their work is quite impressive, and a very good time to start this. Generally we got introduced to these methods very late in life, and I think these children have an advantage that way, that they are learning it so early on.
It is great to see them, the kind of topics these kids have chosen, being in 6th grade, global warming, and they're like really big topics. Hopefully what they have researched and what they have learned through this will remain with them, and it gives them an opportunity to relate to such topics, to even understand what's happening around the world. This opportunity given by these teachers to them is great, because at this age it's important that they start learning about what's happening around them, and it was a great way to do that. It was a good job.
With that said, this perspective remains incomplete without the voices of the most important stakeholders in this experience, the students. Ever ready with their bumbling energy and thoughtful insights, some students shared their topics of choice and what it was like to combine their learning across the sciences and humanities and the writing workshop.
My expository post-unit on demand was based on biology, and we were learning about volcanoes and how exactly we can design greenhouses to protect against them. So mine was more related to volcanoes than greenhouses, so I talked about the environmental impacts of volcanic eruptions.
My expository essay was also on chemistry. I chose water, heavy metals, and their impact upon crops and fish bodies around us.
So my expository essay post-unit on demand was about the physics PBL, and my topic was on about lightning strikes and electricity hazards and how they can be prevented.
I chose my argumentative essay for my PBL Chronicles, and it was about how peaceful protests are more effective than violent ones. And I explored how researchers have shown how they're much more effective over the past decade.
So I think what I found most interesting about joining PBL with our English writing workshop was that even though we learned about these topics in class, this time we got to sort of explore a more specific topic that may not have been directly what we did learn in class, because what we learn in class is always an extremely vast topic, and now we got to pinpoint it, which was one of the main things we talked about while learning about expository and argumentative essays, and that made the PBL and science a lot more interesting, as well as English.
So I agree with everybody and exactly what they've said. I think writing is a very powerful medium of expressing your thoughts. We've seen literature over so many years and it's impacted so many lives. And I think the fact that we can share information, not only like supporting a certain stance or a certain side, but also information just in general for people to know more about the importance of certain topics around us, like in the expository essay, was really important to me. And I think the fact that I could use the knowledge I already had, like for example about heavy metal pollution, that made it much easier for me to kind of share this knowledge as well as write my essay.
So I think I've definitely improved as a writer over the past year. I've focused on developing my writing style, and also I've become a lot better at researching. I remember in 7th grade we were writing our expository essay, and I went online and there were so many sites to look at and I had no idea which one to choose. And this time I could go on sites, more reliable sites like Britannica, and like avoid sites like Wikipedia and stuff. And I was able to find a lot more research, and I think I've definitely improved in terms of that.
So this year I feel like I've been able to go further and beyond, because we've already learned stuff in our science classes, and that using that to write an expository essay really shed a new light, and I was able to understand more deeply, and I feel like blending those science and writing together really helped me as a learner and a writer at the same time.
Hello, I'm Srinidhi and I'm from 6D. One thing I enjoyed about blending PBL and the writing workshop is that you could learn more about the PBL just by incorporating that into the post-on-demand. It also helped me improve my artifact, making the essay, and it also improved my essay by working on the PBL, so blending it really worked out. I think I grew as a writer because the experience of learning the different mini lessons and how they would affect us really helped me in that way, and I think the text features really improved my writing skills.